When I set out on this journey to play all the fan favorite games I had missed over the years, one of the games that was high up on my list was The Witness. I didn't know too much about it, except that it had high reviews, it made IGN's top 100 games of all time, which I know, it's IGN, but still, that beat out a lot of games. And it involved puzzles, so that was enough for me. But after putting several hours into this game, and a lot of deliberation with my team, I have decided to not finish The Witness. This is the games I shouldn't have played. The Witness. Second episode and you're already changing the format? Shut up, editor me, this is my video. Major spoilers ahead for The Witness story and gameplay. If you have any intention of playing this game, don't say I didn't warn you. Before we get into this, I need to give a quick shout out to Garrett on Instagram. He won our 100 subscriber giveaway that allowed him to pick this game for this series. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you should probably go follow us on Instagram, link in bio. Anyway, thanks dude. Sorry this took so long, and also sorry for what I have to say about this game. As I did with BioShock, I want to talk about the world of The Witness first. It's hard not to be fully entranced by this world as soon as you enter it. One of my favorite parts of any game is exploration. So coming out of the starting area to find that there were caves and mountains and forests and valleys to explore, all incredibly animated, I was certain this was a world I would be happy to get lost in. And for the most part, that was true. The island is split into areas that are all bright, colorful, and vast. There's a mountain, a desert, a jungle, a swamp, basically every environment you can imagine, and they all have their own specific character and themes. But unfortunately, the only way to experience this world is what makes it a game I couldn't finish: the gameplay. The Witness's gameplay is either the biggest selling point or the biggest deterrent depending on who you are. The one core mechanic in this game is maze puzzles. The game description advertises over 500 puzzles, although there is some debate amongst fans on whether or not that number is accurate. Either way, there is a fuck ton of puzzles. Take a shot every time I say puzzles in this video and try not to die. Before you get out into the fully open part of the island, the game drops you into a starting area where you have to find your way out by solving the first set of maze puzzles. There's no dialogue or on-screen prompts, so you are forced to figure out the mechanics on your own. I actually like this. I like when a game doesn't hold my hand and lets me figure out the controls on my own. The first few puzzles are pretty easy, so the game kind of lures you into thinking, I can do this all day. But as you enter the open world and you can go wherever you want and take on whatever puzzles you want, you start to see how complex the puzzles can get. Now I know what you're thinking, Gooba, you keep saying how bad this game is. Why are you being so positive? Would you chill out? I'm getting to it. Once you're out in the open world, there are puzzles just about everywhere you look. And to get into most areas, you have to solve a puzzle or series of puzzles first. This is where you start to see all the different types of puzzles there are in this game. There are mirror mazes, mazes where you have to avoid certain symbols, mazes where you have to collect certain symbols, mazes where you have to group colors together, and the list goes on and on and on and on. To say this got tedious pretty quickly is a cataclysmic understatement. It wasn't until I had given up on finishing the game and I watched a fantastic video by Joseph Anderson in order to understand the story better that I found the words to describe how I feel about this mechanic. It's like playing a $10 iPad puzzle game on a major console for $40. I don't think it warrants an entire beautifully animated open world to go along with it. There are some puzzles that require you to interpret the answer from your surroundings, or puzzles that are even part of the surroundings, but I don't think the game presents them clearly enough for most players to figure out. I don't need a game to hold my hand, but this game kicked me down a hill, threw sand in my eyes, and told me the answer is somewhere around here. Figure it out, stupid. And there may be some players that appreciate the challenge and are excited about the idea of using their surroundings to solve the puzzle in front of them, but I am not one of those players. In short, I am too dumb for The Witness. By far the most frustrating part of The Witness for me was the story. The reason for that is there is no story. The minute you enter the island, you're met with so many questions. Who am I? Where is everyone? Why is there a half-sunken ship? Was I on that ship? Why are all the people turned to stone? What's with the science experiment at the top of the mountain? The world leaves you all these interesting clues that make you want to put together a story of what happened to this island and its people. But there's nothing to find, because the island was never real, and the people were never real. If you reach the first ending of the game, you take a tour of the island as all the puzzles you solved reset and you're put back in the starting position. Then when you start again, you can find another ending where you wake up as a developer in the studio that made the game. The entire game was a beta test. It's all a simulation. Birds aren't real. The reason this is so frustrating to me is I made up all these scenarios in my head on what actually happened to this island. Maybe something went wrong with the science experiment up on the mountain that turned everyone to stone. Maybe the game is called The Witness because you are the sole survivor of this event. You are the witness, and you have to make your way around the island and solve puzzles in order to refresh your memory of the event. But it wasn't about any of that. It was just the developers making a super meta game about perspectives. If you made it to the end of this video and you think I'm being too harsh, or that I don't deserve to be so critical because I didn't finish the game, well, you're probably right, but here we are. I think I built up this game over the last few years to be this beautiful, challenging adventure that just had a focus on puzzles. Not that the entire game was focused on one type of puzzle. But that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you've played The Witness and you had a different experience, let me know in the comments because I'd love to continue the discussion on this game. Also, if you really did take a shot every time I said puzzles, holy shit, dude, go to the hospital. Thanks again to Garrett for picking this game as the next in the series. I hope I didn't disappoint you too much. And I want to give a special thanks to Joseph Anderson for creating such an incredible video on this game. I don't think I would have understood it at all if I had not seen that video. If you want a much better understanding of The Witness than I can give, I'll leave a link to Joseph's video in the description. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.